Isn't it just fucked up that a muscular, lean man has to justify his level of fitness, but a fat, lazy, metabolically deranged, or a skinny, fragile, osteopathically deranged, they don't have to justify their lack of fitness?
Liver King is a fitness freak, TikTok star, media face, YouTuber, entrepreneur, and social media star who went from nothing to 6 million followers in just 1 year by eating raw testicles, raw liver, and showcasing his naturally built body that anybody can achieve if they follow his lifestyle, which he calls ancestor lifestyle. But recently some emails have come to light that say otherwise. So who is Liver King really? And why is he getting called out? The story begins in 1977 in San Antonio, Texas, United States of America, with the birth of Brian Johnson, who, though now he looks like a barbarian, in his early days was a skinny kid who was often bullied. At one point, he was forced to walk home barefoot after one of the bullies stole his new shoes. But unlike other kids his age, he didn't have a father who could give him genuine advice. His father passed away when he was just 2 years old, and he was raised by his mother, who was really hard on him and his brother.
I grew up with a brother and with a mom that was mom and dad. I have no memory of my dad. When I was 2 or 3 years old, he died. He was serving in the Air Force and he died. And so my mom was really tough on us. Really tough on us.
But everything changed when his mother started dating another guy who got Brian into weightlifting, which gave Brian the confidence he needed to fit in with his peers. And his classmates even started to refer to him as Marky Mark, who was a sensation at the time. Though it was one of the hardest times of his life, he still describes these experiences as a rite of passage that helped him become the man he is today.
You know the answer is no. I couldn't be more grateful, for those 4 years. This was my first rite of passage. This forged me into the unrelenting evolutionary hunter that I am today. I figured that shit out on my own. This is probably a gift I didn't have a dad. This is probably a gift I didn't have somebody to put their arms, because you figure that shit out on your own. You cross this chasm.
After graduating high school, he enrolled in a medical course at Texas Tech University. But during orientation, he dropped out to work for a pharmaceutical company. But he didn't really feel fulfilled, as he didn't like working for someone else. So he quit his job and started his own business. In 2016, he started his first business, Ancestral Supplements, with his girlfriend Barbara, whom he later married and had 2 kids with. But unlike Brian, his 2 boys were really sick and had many health issues that, even after seeing many doctors, could not be fixed. So Brian and his family had to make some changes to their lives. And after looking for a solution everywhere, Brian found 2 books, Nourishing Traditions by Sally Fallon and Nutrition and Physical Degeneration by Weston Price. The books were about how the uncivilized lived and a guide to traditional foods. Brian found these books to be fascinating, so decided to adapt these lifestyles to his and his family's lives, which he claims cured his son's illness that even modern medication couldn't fix.
And so, at some point you say enough is enough. And so we took matters into our own hands. We started researching. Every doctor just gave more EpiPen, more Benadryl, stuff like that. And for me, the easiest thing to do was to implement a diet change. We threw out all the processed food, the seed oils, the liquid calories. We brought in nose-to-tail, wild-caught, organic foods, cheaply nose-to-tail stuff like liver and bone marrow and bone soups. Within about a week, our kids did a 180.
The results were so revolutionary that they decided to share them with the world. And for that, Brian contacted 1DS Collective, a marketing and advertising agency, to help him get started on social media. Which brings us to August 18, 2021, when the Liver King posted his first official video to his newly created Instagram account, which is a 50-second trailer introducing the Liver King's lifestyle and his brand.
There's this really simple way of living. It's ancestral living. It's the way that we've lived for millions of years. It's accessible. It's something you can literally do right now, today, and you can have an impact and change your life tomorrow. This is why my life's work is my mission, is my purpose. It's putting back in what the modern world left out.
Even though he claims they went online just a year before, he was actually creating videos for YouTube as late as 2013 on a channel called B. Johnson, which was created in May 2012, and where he was clearly doing the same things, lifting weights, promoting his ancestral lifestyle, and also living it. However, as you can see, this channel did not take off, but it definitely made someone notice Brian, who gave him the idea of going full social media to promote his lifestyle. The first platform they chose for this was Instagram, followed by a TikTok account, which has grown tremendously in just a year, and as of now, both of his accounts combined have over 5 million followers, with whom he shares his ancestral lifestyle and his 9 ancestral tenets, which are sleep, eat, move, shield, connect, cold, sun, fight, bond. And sometimes he also wants a 10th tenet, which is fun.
You know what? Ancestral tenet 10 is have a little fucking fun.
Right.
And I'm like, you know what? If you've built this biological resilience, I always say have a little poison. I'll drink, I'll do mushrooms, I'll do shit like every Saturday I imbibe.
But even after doing all of this, he didn't see the level of growth he wanted. But all of that changed when he started uploading videos of him eating raw meats, especially raw liver, hence the name The Liver King.
Can I help you, sir?
I'll have the usual.
Yes, of course, sir.
Let's do it. Oh, look at this. Finally a street corner where I can get a proper ancestral meal. Now this is how you do it. I appreciate you, my man.
Jersey Avenue with intermediate stops. Passengers should proceed to track 14 west.
Wait for it.
People who wanted to know more about him and if his body is truly natural increased as his video gained popularity, and every video he posted received hundreds of questions asking if his body is truly natural, to which he always replied that it is. And during this time, he also began doing podcasts to reach out to more people he refers to as subprimals.
Which I believe is one of the biggest problems.
I gotta
we have.
answer this for you, my man, because here's the thing: is I call them subprimals, right? That make these comments.
In March 2022, he did his first podcast with Carnivore MD, and after that, he was doing a new podcast every other day with every big podcast channel out there, like Impulsive, No Jumper, The Diary of a CEO, Road Talk, and many more. In these podcasts, whenever he was asked if he was taking steroids, he always said he wasn't. And he also claims that anybody can achieve the level of fitness he has if they also follow the 9 ancestral tenets.
Why do you not tell people about your steroid usage?
This is a great question, right? Yeah. Because of what it implies.
Okay.
Right. I think a better question really is, it's the same question, do you take things? Yeah. Right. But my answer has been the same because I've always told the truth. And did you know 50 years ago, we had on average 50% higher testosterone?
Yeah.
So if you just think about that, right, we could probably go 50 to 100% higher just by doing the 9 ancestral tenets. Isn't that what most people do with they try and do steroids to increase their testosterone by 50 to 100%?
For the most part.
Well, so I don't know exactly what the numbers are, but what I'll say is this: like if somebody has, let's say, 700, testosterone, free testosterone, and if they're taking steroids and they want to get up to 1400 or 1500 or whatever it is, guess what? You can do the same thing with the 9 ancestral tenets.
The Liver King has long been a source of controversy, but no one had officially said that he was using steroids. But that changed on the 1794th episode of The Joe Rogan Experience, when Joe Rogan publicly called out the Liver King.
Eats just the raw.
That's a gimmick, that guy.
It just looks ridiculous. He's got a plate of hearts and it just looks weird.
He's got an ass filled with steroids is what he's got.
Yeah, he should have a big plate of steroids next to it.
That is not a natural body.
Of course it's not.
That guy is shooting all kinds of shit into his system to achieve that kind of physique.
Completely.
And when he was asked about it, he always replied, "I don't touch the stuff."
What I'll share back with you, and I'm just gonna head it, face it head on. I don't touch this stuff. I've never done this stuff. I'm not going to do this stuff.
What stuff?
The ass full of steroids that he talks about.
You've never taken steroids?
Never taken steroids. I've never done PEDs other than prioritize, execute, and dominate in life.
He also proceeded to state that he was grateful to Joe Rogan for bringing him to his ecosystem. After that, he even asked Joe Rogan to invite him to his podcast so he could preach about his faith to Joe Rogan's audience, which as things stands now, I'm pretty sure will not happen.
I also just do want to say, I think that him saying that is dangerous. I want to set the record straight. I would love the opportunity to talk to him face to face, to really get deep into the 9 ancestral tenets.
Even after reputable creators like Joe Rogan, Derek from More Plates More Dates, and many other fitness influencers called him out, it didn't have much of an impact on his brand, as it only grew over the years. And just last year, as Liver King claims, his business made over $100 million.
Really, really well. I read online, Little Birdie told me that you're making over $100 million a year from your businesses. True or false?
True.
That's a pretty staggering accomplishment.
And it's no secret that his way of life and preaching have become mainstream, with many big news networks covering him, like GQ, Briefly, News Unzip, BuzzFeed, etc. Recently, he even started appearing in MMA events as a guest, and in one of these events, he even had a liver eating contest in front of the media.
And still! You did great. You did great. Oh my God! Look at my shorts.
Let me take some of yours.
Yes, try this. Congrats, man. Oh my God! This guy is an animal.
And still, the undisputed champion of liver!
But all of Liver King's lies came to an end on November 29, 2022, when Derek from More Plates More Days released a video titled The Liver King Lie, where he called out the Liver King for lying and using misleading and dishonest tactics to promote his brand.
Then, he was already getting criticism for claiming natural, and since then, he's only managed to get more jacked despite being in his mid-40s and traveling constantly and having more on his plate than ever from a entrepreneurship perspective. Now, understandably, this success draws a greater level of scrutiny to his claims of being natural and his brand as a whole, as there is a clear monetary incentive to promote what he does. And if he's on drugs after all, there is a clear monetary incentive to withhold that information from the public and lie about it to push his agenda.
By the end, he even showed some emails that were leaked to him by a whistleblower, who Derek claims was the Liver King's fitness coach.
This set of redacted emails shows what appears to be Liver King corresponding with a bodybuilding coach. So I was shocked, but also kind of not shocked at the same time. Like, I felt like it was just a matter of time before something like this came out in some capacity, but obviously...
The emails detailed a lengthy and expensive steroid cycle that include ibutamoren, omnitrap, Deca, testosterone, and Winstol, to name a few, with a monthly fee exceeding $11,000.
The 5.8 milligram vials from Empower Pharmacy, $11,000 per month for my new dose, which is 4 vials per week, 16 vials per month.
The video quickly amassed millions of views, and everyone started calling out the Liver King. At first, the Liver King didn't really respond, but as things started to get worse, he responded to the allegation by giving a response to the Daily Beast, where he kind of agrees that he's taking the drugs, but not fully agrees. But 3 days later, on December 2nd, 2022, he uploaded an apology video to his YouTube channel, admitting to taking performance-enhancing drugs, but denying other rumors, such as getting ab implants or plastic surgery.
Primals, I'm making this video to apologize. Yes, I've done steroids, and yes, I am on steroids, monitored and managed by a trained hormone clinician. Nope, I've never had ab implants, ab etching, or any other plastic surgery, and I sure as fuck never actually had gene editing done in Singapore. I made all of that up.
In the video, he also claims that he never expected that his Liver King persona would blow up like this.
And I never expected this kind of exposure in the public eye.
Which is a big lie, as in the leaked emails, he clearly states that within 1 year, he wants this amount of followers, which is surprisingly achieved.
And I've just hired a team to build the Liver King brand with the goal of 1 million followers by March 2022. That's like wildly specific, and I believe he actually did it before that date, which is crazy because he had 0 followers.
As expected, fans did not respond well to his apology, as it has more than 100k dislikes. And seeing that, he's trying to get on a big podcast, especially the Joe Rogan Experience. But in a recent podcast, Joe Rogan made it clear that he doesn't want the Liver King in his podcast.
And he's been trying really hard to get on now. He contacted a few friends of mine, and some of them that have, like Bert Kreischer, that had him on the show.
Yeah, he told me he's trying to get on.
Yeah, for what? For what? Say that more? Like, come on, this is dumb, man. This is a fucking, you ran a con game and you got busted.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that you feel terrible. I'm sorry you feel bad, because that's just what happens when you get caught lying. But you didn't have to lie.
But while all of this was happening, everyone had one question. Who is the one who leaked the emails to Derek? At first, no one really understood who it was. But on November 29, 2022, a Reddit post surfaced claiming that Vickers Steve was Liver King's coach. At first, there was no substantial evidence to back it up, other than some coincidences. Like in the email, Liver King wrote to his coach, "I hope your MRI went well. If not, this email is dated July 19, 2021, and exactly 4 days earlier, on July 16, 2021, Steve had uploaded a video titled Heart Enlargement and Low Ejection Fraction Not on My Watch, where he's talking about his recent MRI, which, though not certain, can lead one to believe that Vickers Steve might be his coach. But the mystery came to an end on the 5th of December 2022 when Vigor Steve himself posted a video to his channel saying that he was the one who leaked the emails. In the video, he also states why he's outed the Liver King.
Yes, that was indeed my old questionnaire. And yes, I am the guy that shared those private emails with Derek for more plates, more dates after more compelling evidence started to surface that the Liver King was indeed using performance-enhancing drugs. I gave Derek permission to use these emails in a redacted form to help Brian, aka the Liver King, finally come clean and end the lies dead in their tracks.
From an outside perspective, even though this doesn't appear to be as bad, behind the scenes, it's really bad for the Liver King and his brand. As one of his best friends and co-owner of the ancestral supplements, Paul Saladino, aka Carnivore MD, has publicly come out and stated that he's done with the Liver King and he will no longer do business with him.
So I wanted to post a story today with a little more context for the Liver King situation. I posted a reel with my thoughts. I've known Brian for 5 years, long before his social media presence began. He's a good human at his core, and I'm incredibly disappointed by the steroid revelations, which appear to be true. I think integrity is everything.
This has also affected his brand in a big way, as his brand was solely built on the fact that the Liver King's body was natural and anybody could achieve it if they follow his lifestyle and took the supplements his company sells. But now after all of this, it's going to be really hard to convince everyone to buy his supplements.